Hello gamers, I'm back with another episode of Beyond the Emulator with your host Dylan. This episode reviews how I set up my Trimui Smart Pro with GammaOS Android-based firmware. So sit back, grab your device, and follow along to see if there's something you can adjust to get better gameplay and performance, as we are going to be going beyond the emulator. And lastly, if you enjoyed these handheld videos, please drop a like and maybe subscribe to my page. Thank you and enjoy. Now, without keeping you in suspense, let's get started. So, greetings all. I wanted to show off GammaOS running on my Trimui Smart Pro. It's an Android based. You can see here there are apps, and this is running under the front-end launcher Show. So you can see actually I've got Game Boy. I don't have anything else set up on it in this front-end launcher. What I wanted to do is kind of more focus on the apps that are available. You can use your joystick or your D-pad. Also, I have a mouse connected, which is currently not turned on. There we go. And actually you can click on Beacon, which is also a front-end launcher. And currently I only have Nintendo 64 set up. So I have two front-end launchers. So to show you a little bit about that, we can go into the power button. Goes into like a menu. Shows you here my memory, my CPU percentage, my battery. I can close that particular app. I can go to settings, which also is going to open up just like an Android. You have your network, account, apps. So you can see by clicking here where you've been using these recent apps that are listed. We can open up any of those. I've got Disney Plus running off of an app. I've got Dolphin for GameCube, which I'm still working on. Drastic for NDS games. Also the ESDE front-end launcher. I'll show you that as well. You can go into your files. Flycast for Dreamcast, Local Send for sending files, M64 if you're running N64 games, Mix Explorer is another file, Nether SX is for PS2, which I'm still testing. New Pipe is actually running a YouTube video APK file with no ads. Opera, there's a browser. Your PPSSPP Gold, which is the newest version 1.19.3. And then you have also RetroArch, your settings, and Toast, which I'm not really familiar with. So you're able to actually go into any of these apps, but we're going to go ahead and back out all of this. It's going to go ahead and reopen the launcher. We can go to Nintendo 64, or we can go to B for our apps. These two up here, Aptotide and Aurora Store, or app stores. We can go to Drastic. We can load a new game. So what it's doing is going down to the storage that is on the SD card. I'm going to go ahead and select our NDS game. And we see this is actually, we're going to take this whole file, so we're going to press select. And there are our games. We can go ahead and start a game right through here. And there we go. And if we wanted to change screens, we're using R2. Gives you an example of the NDS Drastic emulator. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. And what it does is it reverts back to the launcher, because that's the default front end at this present time. You can go to your Flycast, New Pipe, which is a YouTube. I'll show you how that works. We're not going to do an update. We're we're basically just going to go to a simple video. Let's go with Sunday NFL Countdown. Again, I'm not using the mouse. You can see I can move around here, click on here, now I have a full screen. So I have a video player. We'll go ahead and get out of that. There it goes.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families.
You can go ahead and select any video you want to go ahead and get out of that. Menu and start. Should allow us to get out of here. Oh, if we just B for back out, it's going to go back to the launcher. Seems to be still playing, but you're not able to get another screen, so what we would have to do is go to the power button. We're going to kill all the background apps, so then it brings it back just to the launcher. We can go over to apps. We can go to Opera for our browser. Don't forget we have games we can check out as well. So now I have a browser. This is where it's kind of nice to have the mouse. So if we were looking for example, live TV, if I wanted to go ahead and select Cartoon Network, there we go. We have live TV as well. And if I wanted to expand it, it's got a little bit of a delay. There we go. Such a little mouse. Doesn't sit on the screen very often. It kind of comes in and out, but you can see it here. Now it disappeared.
My wife always dreamed of having a cat. So we got Meow Meow. Just days later, she developed serious cat disease. I'm Dr. Evan Zhao, founder of Packaging.
We're going to go ahead and get out of this.
Breaks down 98% of cat allergens safely and effectively.
It did close it out. Just had a little bit of delay. That 1 gig of RAM that's running on the TSP really struggles with this Android-based. There we go. Go back down to apps. We can go to PPSSPP, or you can just do it from the front-end launcher. So what we're going to do is let's go to our library. We're going to go to Add. Down below in this very small print, there's the PPSP. We're going to add those files to the program. So you go to Synchronize Paths, Add More. Now what it's going to do is, this is nice to have the mouse is going back to the main folder. And we are going to be using the, there we go, we're scrolling through, PSP. Opens that file. We're going to press Start to select. Selected that URL for that folder. We're going to go ahead and do a sync. And as you can see, my games have populated. Sometimes you'll get this Google app not working. I just ignore it. It just disappears. Now if I go back, still hasn't finished scraping them. But as below you can see, it's syncing and scraping. might not hit up all my files based on some names. Still hasn't picked them up yet. There we go. And now we have images. And if we wanted to, we could go all the way down. You could go to grid view, and now you can see them like that. So if we wanted to go ahead and select Burnout Dominator, it's going to go open my PPSSPP emulator. There's the game loading, and there's the game. If I go ahead and press the start menu, it opens up my emulator options, which you can see down here for settings. I have it running at the OpenGL, 2 times PSP. So all of it is the basic same as the other version. Just showing you can get it in a bigger view. Go ahead and exit out of that. You can see I'm using the 1.19.3. A couple of them I'm working on right now is trying to get the GameCube working with the game, the PS2 to work, as well as the 3NDS. So those are a couple things I'm still focusing on working on. But now if I go to my library, I've got 2 sets. So if I also go back down to my main menu here, we're going to go to settings. Go to some other apps. So if we were going to go ahead and use Beacon, we can go ahead and open it. And see there have an app store, basically a listing of apps as well as the DSU. And I've got these games here, so if I were to go with Super Mario, just go ahead and select it. It's going to open my seems to be an error code. Interesting. I've had this work before. We want to make sure we're allowing notifications. There we go. Was a permissions issue. I must have had something reset. There we go.
Mario! Hello!
Game works just fine.
Dear Mario, please go
If I go ahead and press my menu key,
Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
it basically reverts it back to my launcher and the default launcher. Now I'd like to show off the ESDE. It runs a little bit slower. So we're going to go to our menu. Here's ESDE, and you can actually change that to a front-end launcher. When I go ahead and run that, it just has a little bit of a lag time when it loads, I think based on the big file that it's using and the 1 gig of RAM. There we go. So in here, with the newer version, you can see the Android apps. So if I click on here, I've got the same setup with all the files here. I can go ahead and open within ESDE, new pipe, any of these emulators. Scroll over. I'm still working on the Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo 64. Again, there's Super Mario, Nintendo DS. We saw that with Diddy Kong. Nintendo, Game Boy Advance. If we go here, we could go with Pokemon Lazarus, which is a new ROM hack. And there you go. Goes right to the game. Menu and start, it basically just opens back up ESDE. It just doesn't boot as quickly. So these are just some things that you can use or do how you're setting up GammaOS on the Trimui Smart Pro. There we go. We can keep going. GameCube I'm still working on. Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, PlayStation, PlayStation 2 still in the process. And if we're going to go ahead and open, we could easily just open this. And it's going to open my PPSSPP.
Round 2.
And go right to the game. So, there you go. There's a wrap. Wanted just to kind of give you a quick glimpse of GammaOS running on my Trimui Smart Pro. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial or video. Again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.